GamingBolt presents 15 PSVR games of 2018 and beyond. Though PlayStation VR arrived in October of 2016, we've seen a fairly large number of games supporting it since then. Virtual reality technology has a fairly large barrier for entry as is, but the future holds even more intriguing games for PSVR. Let's take a look at 15 PlayStation VR titles for 2018 and beyond. Golem. Highwire Games' Golem follows the tale of a child who uses magic to navigate the ruins of the Endless City. The actual combat, which is one-to-one with player reaction in terms of blocking, attacking, and movement, looks interesting. However, it's the talent involved, namely former Bungie composer Martin O'Donnell and designer Jamie Griesemer, along with former Valve artist Travis Brady, that has us interested. Golem has recently been delayed, but we're looking forward to how it turns out. Dreams. Like its happy-go-lucky Little Big Planet series, Media Molecule's Dreams will allow players to craft their own experiences. This can be done by creating different items, manipulating objects, possessing characters in a particular dream, and so on. The addition of abilities, puzzles, connecting different dreams together, and sharing levels makes Dreams a very malleable experience, and you can bet it'll be even more surreal in VR. Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown. There hasn't been a ton of information about Bandai Namco's newest Ace Combat title, though we do know it's a direct sequel to Ace Combat 6 and runs on Unreal Engine 4. The developer has confirmed that there will be exclusive VR missions as opposed to the entire game being playable in VR. How much VR content is actually present is something we'll find out later this year, but given the visual fidelity and the sheer thrill of flying through the skies, we can't wait. Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner, Mars. Out of nowhere, Konami confirmed at Sony's pre-TGS 2017 presser that Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner would receive a remastered version with 4K resolution support and improved visuals. It will also have complete VR support, though how that will translate into a palatable experience remains to be seen. Regardless, if you've ever wanted to fly around in Jehudi and take down bogeys in VR, Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner, Mars should be on your radar. Moss. Recently released for the PlayStation VR, Moss offers perhaps the most compelling experience on the console yet. The player interacts with Quill, a young mouse, who must defeat an evil snake to save his uncle. Though Quill can be controlled, the player exists as a separate entity that helps him solve puzzles and explore the environment. The interactions with Quill through sign language and various gestures only solidify one's connection to the experience. Blood and Truth. Trying to sustain interest in an experimental platform for another year is tough. Fortunately, Sony's PlayStation VR games seem to be improving, and Blood and Truth is an excellent example. It's a far more polished and realized example of the London heist with a much stronger sense of immersion. Early impressions are that the movement and combat are good, but we'll find out if this fully realized shooter about an ex-soldier stuck in the middle of a gang rivalry is actually fun. Ark Park. Based on Ark Survival Evolved, Ark Park sees players traveling through numerous biomes across 10 maps and finding dino DNA for creating new blueprints. Though you can incubate eggs and keep dinosaurs as pets, procuring sweet rides in the process, you'll also have to battle with larger dinosaurs to defend your base. It's not a sandbox survival title, but there should be plenty of hectic situations to deal with. The Persistence. First-person horror is nothing new in the world of VR games, but The Persistence goes a little bit further. Taking place on a space vessel, something goes wrong, as usual, and the crew is mutated. The onboard computer starts waking up the non-mutated crew to prevent the ship from falling into a collapsing star. The twist is that each time you die, you awaken as a new crew member, with the ship's layout having changed. This procedural generation meets roguelike gameplay is intriguing and should make for some genuine thrills in VR. Transference. When Ubisoft's Transference was first unveiled at E3 2017, we had numerous questions. We've since learned that the game has you exploring digital memories, attempting to piece a family back together for the sake of reality, and probably not losing your mind in the process. Transference is still billed to release this spring, so stay tuned for updates. Torn. Gravity manipulation? Dark sci-fi elements. A mysterious manor full of strange devices. Asper's Torn may sound like a strange combination of games you've already played, but it takes significant influence from The Twilight Zone and Black Mirror. You'll be solving puzzles and fooling around with devices, but also trying to figure out what happened to those who created them. Time will tell if some secrets are better left buried, though. Visage. Will the PT spiritual successors ever cease? Not as long as the concept continues to enamor developers. First there was Allison Road, and now Sad Square Studio is developing Visage, a horror title where the player explores the memories of past deaths in a house. This isn't a small experience either, as Visage apparently takes 8 to 10 hours to complete. FIREWALL 0 Hour. Supermassive's Bravo team may have been a failure, but FIREWALL 0 Hour could actually provide compelling tactical first-person shooting in VR. Plus, Adrift director Adam Orth is involved. As a competitive shooter with teams of attackers and defenders, FIREWALL 0 Hour features mysterious eyes in the sky for both teams that can provide information and objectives. Communication and planning are key, but there will still be plenty of action to go around. Megalith. Some hero shooters are all about human-sized entities battling it out. Megalith is a hero shooter that lets players transform into titans, rampaging across the battlefield. Ability customization, free locomotion, and destructible environments are included, and you'll need to band together as a team for a chance at survival. Sprint Vector. A first-person, competitive sprinting title with a futuristic twist, and of course, power-ups. Sprint Vector is already available and has exemplified the kind of variety that VR titles are capable of. With numerous characters, 12 courses that transcend dimensions, challenge maps, and fairly intuitive movement, it certainly makes a case for VR running. Apex Construct. So it's not quite Horizon Zero Dawn, but using a bow and arrows in first-person perspective to shoot down enemy robots sounds cool, especially in VR. Apex Construct thankfully layers on some intriguing puzzle solving, exploration, and platforming to go with this. There are also options for teleportation movement or to smoothly turn and navigate environments. We'll see if this VR exclusive can deliver on the thrills. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.